everybody. I have been living in Denmark for 5 years, so now I think it is time that I tell you 5 things that I had no idea that they were Danish. Complete shock. Stay tuned.
Come along as my Danish husband and our 2 kids show this American what it means to live a life in Denmark. My new Danish life.
Hi there and welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Kelly and I'm an American who lives in Denmark. And I'm also married to a Danish guy and we've been together for 14 years. But that doesn't mean that I know everything about Denmark because of him, or the fact that I've lived in Denmark for that matter. But it's a little crazy that there have been some things over the course of the last few years that I'm learning about Denmark and things that are Danish that I had no idea. And it really kind of blows my mind. And I think it's a little cool and I think more people should know about it. So I'm here today to tell you what those 5 things are. Before we get started though, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you're just a red button click away from becoming a subscriber. So now's your chance. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for being along with this journey of mine and these crazy videos. I really appreciate it. Now let's get to the good stuff. As many of you have noticed, I have gotten back my studio. I love making videos in my living room. It's my place that has the nicer background. I have lately been making videos in an office, which happens to be kind of a room that we just throw things in. And I'm kind of sitting on the floor back in a corner. Because of Corona times and the fact that I'm doing my internship, I am not home by myself very often. Well, it just so happens to be that my husband and the boys are out and I get to have the house to myself and I get to have the living room to myself. So we're making a video right here. And I gotta tell you, it feels good. Not as good as my number 1 though. Ding, 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 ding. Look at this. Did you know that this is Danish? Do you know what this is? We call this in English Summersby. I don't know if you pronounce it Sommerby because in Danish it'd be Sommersby. I don't know. I've never heard anybody actually refer to this. I mean, I don't know. But the thing is that sparkling apple cider, which is what this is just sparkling cider, which is an alcoholic, drink. We have this in the US. I have seen this multiple times, but I have never tried it because I always thought it was more like a wine cooler. And Americans know what wine coolers are. If you're not someone who knows what a wine cooler is, I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like this in a way. But these are so good. I had no idea. And I had no idea that these were Danish. What? My husband's like, oh no, they're probably not Danish. He didn't even know. Crazy. But it's so weird because so many things my husband loves about Denmark, right? And then we lived in the US for so long and he couldn't find any of those things. But it's just crazy about the things that are Danish and nobody knows about it. And this one, I know tons of people who love this. Tons of people in the USA who drink this. And you know what? I didn't start drinking it until, I don't know, last week. But it is good. You all know I'm a big mokai fan. And if you don't live in Denmark, you don't know what a mokai is, but it's very similar to this. I love myself a pink apple mokai. Whew. But unfortunately, that's not something that I know of in the US, but this I do. And this, I was just blown away. I don't know what, I think I was just reading the label. I was curious, right? And it said that it's from the Carlsberg company and they're like the main beer producers in Denmark. And I just blown away, had no idea. This is something that I would always see in the grocery store in the USA and didn't know it was Danish. My number 2 has to do with a little bit of bling, which I don't have one. I know so many people who have one of these, and I always hinted that, oh, it'd be nice to have one of those. Oh, it'd be nice to have one of those. Yeah, well, I need to hint a little bit better because I don't own a Pandora bracelet. A Pandora bracelet is very popular in the US. We have a Pandora store in the town where I'm from. We had like 200,000 people who lived in the town where I come from. It's outside of Chicago, and Pandora was really popular, right? We had billboards that had Pandora advertisements and everything, and everybody knew what a Pandora bracelet was. Okay, maybe if you're like a guy, maybe you don't, but women my age, most women know what a Pandora bracelet is. It's a bracelet, kind of, like this. This is not Pandora, but it would be one where you could clip on like little charms, and each charm would be really kind of specific, right? So it could be like if you're a teacher, maybe it's a charm that has an apple on it, because that's something that we think about when we think of teachers in the US. If you are somebody who likes to play a sport, maybe it's a charm that has a sport on it. It could be anything. It could be anything. I think my sister has one of these Pandora bracelets. I don't know. But I had no clue that Pandora is a Danish company. Completely blew my mind. It's so crazy. And it's like these things, Danes are like, oh yeah, Pandora is Danish. I don't know. I had no idea. It's like when you're living in the USA and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna move to Denmark, and people are like, oh, what's Denmark? What's Denmark all about? Obviously we have these, where's Denmark at? Oh, what do they speak there? We don't really know a whole lot about Denmark, but having a Danish husband, living in the US with him for a very long time, I was really curious about things that are Danish, and I had no clue. Pandora is so big, so popular in the US, and it's Danish. Number 3, deals with Hans Christian Andersen. That's something that, people know Hans Christian Andersen for like The Little Mermaid, and we know him for The Ugly Duckling. I would say that if anybody knows Hans Christian Andersen, the basics, they know that he did those two. Obviously, he did a lot of other stories, and probably that we don't know about, but one that really surprised me, so I can't really say I'm surprised by Hans Christian Andersen because I knew who he was. But I had no idea that Frozen, the Disney show, is based off of Hans Christian Andersen's story, The Snow Queen. No idea. No idea. I had no clue. I'm thinking, man, Disney came up with an original for once. No. Man, I had no idea. Because that is not a story that I have ever heard before in my entire life. I mean, obviously, if you grow up in Denmark, these things get to be read to you, or you read in class or something like that. But I have never heard of the Snow Queen. I know that when you go to Tivoli in Copenhagen, and if you want to get some ideas of what that's like, I've got a video. I'm going to put it up here when we went there for Halloween. But they have this ride, it's called like the magical suitcase or something, and I just absolutely love it, because you sit in the suitcase and you kind of fly around to all of these different fairy tales from Hans Christian Andersen. And of course you always see, like, she's standing like this, you see the Snow Queen, but I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together that Frozen is the Snow Queen. I have no idea why I didn't know that. But it's completely crazy. Completely crazy. But it's also really cool. Okay, I'm going to throw this one in there because this is pretty much how we live right now with Corona, right? Skype. Skype was founded in Denmark in 2003. Later on, sold to Microsoft, whatever else. I had no idea. I had no idea. I'm like, this is something that people use often. Like, my dad is not on social media, so if I want to talk to my dad, I talk to my dad on Skype. So Skype is something that I've used all throughout my travels, in like the early 2000s. I didn't have a cell phone for a very long time. So it's like, how do I communicate with my family and stuff? I used Skype when it came out, evidently. I had no idea. But it's so crazy that I didn't know that was Danish. It's like some things you just know, like, Coca-Cola, oh, that's American. Oh, this, that's, we all know where these things are from. Like, I'm not putting Lego in this video because I think a lot of people know that Lego is Danish. And if they don't, I've said it before in another video. But Skype is one that really kind of surprised me because I think like the technology that was created with that went on to do all of these things that we're doing now, like with the Zoom and all of these teams on like Office 365 and all these different things for like Microsoft. It's really quite interesting how it's so much a part of a lot of people's lives, not just like Americans' lives, because I'm saying a lot of the things that we have in the USA that it's like, oh yeah, that's Danish. Psh, had no idea. My number 5 is the most shocking of all. My my number 5 is just crazy because I still don't feel like it's true. I'm just like, no, you're lying to me. I have been believing this my entire life. This is like the one thing that I always felt to be true. And I'm just not really ready to let it go. Okay? I'm not ready yet. But in the US, when we eat a Danish, right? That's not actually Danish. That is just so crazy. It's like when I was a kid, I am a big fan of donuts, okay? If you want to get on my good side, you come to me with a package of donuts, and they better be like the kind of donuts that I'm thinking of, not like, I don't know. I've got to do a video on the donuts that you can find here in Denmark. I just, oh my God. Oh my God. They shouldn't be called donuts because they're just not. They should be called something else. They should be called round cakes with a hole in the middle. They're just the craziest things I've ever seen. I will do a donut video. Oh my God. But anyways, I love pretty much all kinds of donuts. And I loved Danish when I was a kid. I'm going to call them Danish because that's what we call them as Americans. My favorite were pineapple. I just absolutely love them. You know, there's so many different kinds. You can get cream cheese. You can get any kind of fruit in them. You can get cream cheese and fruit. They're just such yummy things. And it's so funny because I think that's like a common misconception that when you come here, you're like, Danish everywhere. Let me go get myself some Danish. They're not Danish. They're from Austria. And they're actually in Danish called Vienna bread, wienerbrød. And that just blows my mind. We were lied to all of these years, and people are still being lied to. That a Danish is not actually Danish. It's just the craziest thing. These are just the things that are just occupying my mind these days, and I wanted to share them with you. I wanted you to see the light and live in the truth because, wow, yeah, the more you know, people, the more you know. What about you? Is there something that you have kind of grown up your whole life thinking it was one thing, and then you find out later in life that it actually is not? Maybe it belongs to a different culture, or I don't know, for some reason it's just not what you thought it was. Let me know about it in the comments. I need to feel like somebody out there is understanding what I'm going through right now, because this is just a little bit, I swear, I just found out about this. I just found out about this like this morning. I wasn't drinking this morning. I was just, you know, doing research. See, you can hear it. I'm drinking it now. That's why this is a fun video, right? If you like this video or you like learning about Denmark or things that are in fact Danish, no matter what anybody will tell you, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Also, you can find out more about life in Denmark on my blog, My New Danish Life. I write about cool places that you want to visit, but you don't want to do the research. It's all in one place, and you can find it all on my blog. Also, if you're new to Denmark or thinking of moving to Denmark, there's a lot of helpful information as well over there, so go and check out my blog. Thanks for coming along on this short yet fun video, and I hope to see you again in another one. As always, take care.